I am literally doing this business on next to no money with a limited network. All I have is the internet and my own brain and some friends or like connections that I know. That's what we're starting with here. So before I even get cracking with this video at all, I just want to say, sorry that I've been away for so long. I feel like a lot has happened in the space of like, what, a year? I've changed so much. Like, I feel so much more confident in myself, and certainly in front of, you know, talking to you guys in front of the camera, I feel like this is the time to really go for it. Certainly before in my YouTube videos, it wasn't like my true self. I feel like I was really aware of the camera, I was really aware of the fact that it would be online. I just don't feel like that anymore. I just feel like I'm coming to you guys as myself, and I think that's what, you know, I wanted to wait to do, and it's taken a year to, you know, get to that point, but I really wanted to get to a point where I was my full self when creating YouTube videos, and I think I've reached that point. I have recently set up a business, and I kind of wanted to take you guys through the process of starting a business, especially from when you're starting from a business from scratch with no money, e.g. me. It's really important to showcase the kind of trials and tribulations that take place through this entrepreneurial process, and I just want to share that with you guys. It's quite reassuring, like the amount of times I'm thinking to myself, oh, you know, it was clearly so easy for that person to create the venture of their dreams, like their first business was a success, and it's just actually not the case, like a lot of the time. And I wanted to show that. First of all, I think I just wanted to have a little bit of a catch up. I have graduated, finished uni, had a couple jobs that I have enjoyed, but I genuinely have, and I think it's tied into this video in general, I don't think I'm made for the 9 till 5, and that's okay. Honestly, I've tried it, it's just not for me. And that's okay, you know what, like, I rate people that do the 9 to 5 and they enjoy that. To be honest, sometimes I really wish that I was like that. I just don't think that it's for me. Like, every single time that I've like tried it, it's not sat right for me, and that's okay. Like, I understand that everyone's different. Working at a company at the moment, like a skincare wellness sports brand, I mutually decided with them to do 2 days, and then for the 3 to 5, I guess, including weekends, other days, work on my business. I've moved back to Manchester. I've had like a lot of realizations, done a lot of healing, the whole lot. I mean, what's your 20s for if it's not those things? Healing, working, building your career, realizing stuff. So I thought in general this video could be sort of partly going through my journey, but also partly talking about what works and what doesn't, or hasn't worked for me as an entrepreneur, and maybe that can be helpful for some of you guys who are kind of like keen to, you know, dabble in entrepreneurship. So basically, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you've got to live like one. That means spending like, you know, a decent part of your working time, like life as an entrepreneur. You've got to embody what you want to create for yourself. You have to live like an entrepreneur. That, you know, that can be different for everybody. For me, my 9 to 5 was extremely demanding, so I was honestly so exhausted in the evenings and so exhausted on the weekends that it would for me only take reducing my work time to enable me to do my entrepreneurial endeavors. Okay, so I have a couple of other plans for a few more, but I'm starting with my creative agency business. I've named it Hyder Creative after my surname, and my company is a social media consultancy and then content creation agency. So essentially, I will reach out to brands, or brands will reach out to me asking either for content or asking for social media marketing consultancy. So that might be just having a chat with them, working out what they want, and then me creating a social media strategy, creating a content strategy, creating them an influencer strategy, kind of like giving them a template for them to then give to their, you know, social media manager, content manager, to then like base their work on. Just like doing the research and that kind of thing for them to optimize their social media marketing success. And then obviously I do my content creation, so that's like videography, getting photographers that I work with or know to create content for that brand. The reason why I've chosen to start off with this particular business is because it doesn't have any startup costs. I am literally doing this business on next to no money with a limited network. All I have is the internet and my own brain and some friends or like connections that I know. That's what we're starting with here. So I think that's why it makes it interesting, because I really am starting with nothing. So it's got to, you know, build itself up. But that's the point of the series. One of the great rules of business is to refine exactly what you want to do. And this comes to products as well. When I set up my lingerie business with my colleagues in America, you know, at the beginning we were like, yeah, we want to do you know, the lingerie in this color, in this style, and like have this specific, you know, amazingly named items. And eventually we got to the point where, through sort of monetary restrictions and just time restrictions, we ended up just choosing one product, one colour, one name, and one marketing strategy for that particular thing, and we just plugged that. And I think that's normal, you know, when you're creating a business, you're like, oh, these mad ideas, like, oh yeah, I want to do this, that, and the other, but you've got to just, for the time being, stick to the one thing, and then other stuff will be able to kind of crop up, and you'll be able to develop it further and further the more resources and the more you build yourself up. I understand and accept that right now there are things that I am not able to do on a practical level, but that doesn't mean that I never will be able to do them. It just means not right now, and that's fine. So once I kind of developed this business plan, by the way, this business plan consisted of the business proposal, how much it's probably going to cost, the logistics of it in general. Fortunately for me, there's not much logistics going on because it's just me. But, you know, for example, how many clients I can probably have, how much time it's going to take, how I'm going to sort of allocate my week based on this. After that, I started thinking about a logo and my social media strategy. So I'm really lucky in that I have my Hattie Hyder account, which is my professional account, I would say, you know, my content creator, fashion blogger account. But I also have my personal account, which I use at school, you know, at uni. And honestly, it's just sitting there like a lemon, like I haven't really used it. It's pretty barren and redundant at the moment. And I've got a really good engagement rate on there because it's all the people from school and all the people I've, you know, met in person, I know, my friends, and it's got a decent following. And so I've decided that I'm going to, when the time is right, when I've got all the content sorted, I've got my scheduling plan sorted for, you know, being able to do that account justice when it comes to being called Hyder Creative instead of, you know, my name, I am going to change the account to Hyder Creative and make it a business account. And because it's already got that following, I can use my already established network. By the way, network's really important. I'll say that time and time again. Network will get you everywhere. And I'm going to move on to that in a bit because I will ramble on about that for ages if I get distracted. I'm going to change my personal account to Hyder Creative, and then I've already got, you know, that captive audience there already, which is hopefully going to help. I think my idea for the social media account is to, instead of it being maybe perhaps showcasing the kind of like intangible products that I'm going to be delivering for brands, I want to start off actually doing pretty much the exact same thing I'm doing on YouTube, which is showcasing what I'm doing to build up this business. So I think my first post, I'm just going to be announcing that I'm changing my account to my business account. But then my next post I'm quite keen to put on there is how I've developed the logo. I started looking at logos, colours, colour palette. That's really what branding's all about, right? I'm quite good at that. The branding essentially has been the next step. I went through the succession of like lots of different ideas, lots of different colours, the kind of, yeah, aesthetic vibe, lifestyle that I wanted to develop when, you know, people think of my brand, like what do they think of? Thinking of the target customers, thinking of people who, you know, would be most interested in my service. So I think the first or second post is to show that on a carousel post, all the different logos that I went through in the design process of those logos, because it's such a key part of building a business is to create your aesthetic, create your branding. Maybe once a week, updating everyone just like I would be on this YouTube series. That might be like clients, that might be, you know, pivots even. I mean, I don't know. People love stories, people love storytelling. That is kind of the key to creating a brand / creating an audience, etc. So once I had the logo, business plan, etc. set up, it was really a case of just putting yourself out there. And it's kind of like one of the toughest things. I'm really lucky in that I work in a WeWork in town in Manchester, so there's like loads of people always milling about you could chat to or connect with, and I'm quite lucky in that I have a bit of an Instagram following and I can connect to people in my network. So I started off on Instagram, messaging a few people, messaging people on LinkedIn, messaging people from home that I knew had set up businesses and might want a social media strategy. You know, any opportunity you hear or people kind of discuss, you can just say, you know what, I would you be looking for someone to do this? Would you be looking for someone to help you out with that? And just taking the opportunity every time you see it. The other day I was kicking myself because I was at work and I could overhear people behind me. One guy saying that he was looking for someone who could help with social media strategy and content creation because his business was mostly like tech, and he was talking to someone else about, you know, someone who did that and I was like, fuck, I should have got in, and kind of bigged myself up and been like, you know what, I could help you out with that. But I think I felt a bit rude, you know, bulldozing my way in there and sort of overriding the guy that clearly he was talking to about this thing. But it's stuff like that, you know, when you hear that and just saying, you know what, I'm not gonna lie, couldn't help it over here, I think, you know, I could help you out. Obviously, because of that, you need to make sure that you've got a bit of a sort of pitch in place, and it does take, you know, confidence. Like, I can't always do it, but I try and do it every single moment. So it's really just honing in on the network that you already have, asking people, would you want this, would you want that, do you know someone that might want that? I was asking my housemates, connecting with mentors as well. I've got kind of 2 mentors who are keen to help me out. You know, typically they're older, they've already kind of gone through this process, and asking them for some help or guidance or advice on stuff I think is really helpful. But just kind of taking the opportunity at any point to have chats with people, talk about, you know, what you do and you know, what your kind of intentions are, because so many people are willing to help you out, so many people are willing to plug you. You know, even on nights out, I'm like talking to people. I'm really lucky that one of my friends is an influencer in Manchester, and you know, she gets invited to parties and stuff, so then I'll go with her, network there. You know, I think living in a city is a huge privilege, and knowing the right people is a huge privilege. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely like 70%. You know, if you think about it, anyone who's successful network will have had a huge role in them getting where they are, or you know, status. And the only way that you're gonna, you know, elevate yourself is to utilize that network, build it, be friendly with different people, always have that business head. And I understand that's not for everyone, it's a bit long, but especially when you're starting something up, it's really important to just go for it, speak to people, you know, maximize and optimize the network that you have. You'll be surprised with how many people are willing to help you out and willing to, you know, invest in you, essentially. So once I've kind of now developed a little bit of a network with people that have clearly shown interest, I began putting up a price list. So I was like doing research of like what other agencies do. I was going on Fiverr to see how much people were charging for similar services to what I am providing. It really forced me to think, right, what services am I providing? I wrote down a list of, for example, if someone were to invest in a content strategy from me or a social media strategy from me, a list of everything that you get within that like package, as it were. So listing all the packages, what you're kind of getting for your money, and then obviously pricing stuff. I can't charge, you know, huge amounts yet because I need to develop a reputation first, but I'm starting with a decent price, so that's kind of what I need to do. And then now it's just a case of me sending those out to people that are interested, and they can, you know, choose what they want from me. I guess that would be like, if you had a product, you would be pricing, working out its value, working out like the markup and, you know, margins that you're keen to reel in. Honestly, essentially, that's pretty much what I've done so far, and I've registered my business. So I haven't really thought much past that. I registered my business about a week ago. It cost me 12 quid. It's quite good. But essentially, that's what, you know, that's where we're up to with the business so far. I haven't felt this fulfilled probably in my whole life. I know it sounds so dramatic, but like, I seriously haven't. I'm doing what I love and I'm doing my passion, and everything's worth that. Even the financial like stress or kind of like strain that has, for me personally, is worth it. That's why I'm so excited to document it, because I feel like this is it for me, and this is it for what I want to do. If you guys want to follow me on Insta, please do. That really is appreciated on my end. I've got some really, you know, sick content coming. Been working hard on it. So if you like fashion, go and check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in my next video, and I hope you guys honestly have a lovely day / week / month, enjoying the sunshine, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.